We have just boarded our incredible Nile cruise here. This is home for the next 3 days as we cruise down the River Nile.
Welcome back to Egypt. If you guys missed yesterday's video, we spent the day going around Cairo and Giza to the Egyptian Museum, the pyramids, and then we caught a late flight down here to Aswan, where we arrived at this beautiful hotel late last night. You can probably tell, just got up, I'm a little tired. There's just beautiful boats going up and down it, and I think my favorite part is we are right at the edge of the Sahara Desert. Right over there is the eastern edge of the Sahara Desert, and literally it goes until the Atlantic Ocean for thousands of miles. It's pretty intense, guys, and it's right there. Those are sand dunes right there on the edge of the Nile River. But guys, we have an early breakfast today. We're doing a ton of exploring. We're boarding something that we're very excited about. We've been wanting to do one of these for a while now, and turns out it's gonna be on the Nile. Stick with us, it's gonna be an epic day. Heading out to this island that has a very beautiful temple on it called the Philae Temple. We're going to tell you more about it when we get there. There's some crazy history that goes along with this temple, but for now, we're enjoying our little boat ride here on the Nile. Going inside. We have just gotten inside the inner courtyard here at the Philae Temple, and it is beautiful, guys. There's inscriptions everywhere, on every wall, every pillar. They're everywhere. I'm learning a lot of stuff here, guys. I'm no historian, but I'm still learning lots. But this is not an ancient Egyptian temple. This came from like the Greek-Roman area, which still was about 200-300 years BC. Very, very old. This is really cool back here. There's 7 pillars behind me, and on top of each pillar, there is a set of faces. And it's kind of interesting. You'll notice the one on the far right has a very sad smile, and then each one consecutively gets a little happier until the 7th one, where she's very happy, and it's like, what does that mean? So come to find out, there's a celebration called Sibua that celebrates the birth of a baby. So on the first day, the mother is a little bit more serious, and then each day after, she gets a little happier because it's more likely that the baby is going to survive. And then on the 7th day, they have a celebration, they name the baby, and the mother is the happiest because she knows, okay, my baby is gonna be okay. And the coolest part about this, guys, this temple's over 2,000 years old, and this is still a ceremony that they do today in Egypt.
Okay, you guys, this is blowing my mind. Like, truly, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it, but I'm going to tell you something incredible. This temple behind us, this monstrous thing that we have just walked through, was completely relocated. We are looking at the island that it used to be on, which is like submerged pretty much under the river.
It's just right over there where this temple was originally located, but they did build a dam here in the Nile River to help with irrigation, agriculture, all those things, to help regulate the Nile River so it wouldn't flood downstream and such. And that actually flooded the island the temple was on, and so this thing was like partially underwater.
So what they did is they cut this temple apart like piece by piece and numbered everything and then completely rebuilt it here. Kind of incredible.
I can't imagine. The most complicated Lego set on the planet.
I mean, I didn't see the temple before it was rebuilt, but I wouldn't know any different.
You can actually see in every stone, every pillar, there are cuts in the stone, horizontal and vertical, where they cut all of this apart. All these columns, a lot of these walls were single pieces, and they had to cut them and move them and relocate them and rebuild it here, and you can still see it today.
As incredible as it is, I will say it's kind of sad that they had to cut up this temple, but they did a phenomenal job putting it back together. I will say that.
So the temple is made up of a bunch of different rooms. You have the outer and inner courtyards, and then as you get deeper, the rooms get smaller, they get darker, and they're reserved for only the kings and pharaohs of the time. We just went into the deepest room. Very, very amazing. All the inscriptions all around the walls, and that room would have been reserved only for the elite people of the time. Whereas the outer courtyards were for more commoner folk, inner courtyards for priests and things like that. Very interesting, guys.
Boat here, saying goodbye to the Philae Temple, which was honestly beautiful. Had a very good time there. Had a nice little beverage overlooking the river. I mean, it's beautiful here. It's truly beautiful. To me, it looks fake. Like looking at some of these rocks, it looks like fake boulders at like Disneyland or something. It's just crazy. Now we are heading back to the other side of the river to our car. But you guys, this isn't the last boat we are going to be on today. We have a few more boats in our future, and I'm really excited about it.
One small, one big.
And one really big.
We've just gotten to a massive ancient quarry where they would cut granite and get all the stone for a lot of different places around here in Egypt. This one particularly is pretty interesting though. As you can see right here, there's a massive piece of granite that looks like an obelisk because it was supposed to be an obelisk. But they never finished it. They figured that it was never finished because it has a big crack down the center and so probably wasn't up to standard or whatnot. But had it been finished, this would have been the biggest obelisk ever created. You can also see all throughout the quarry places where massive pieces of granite have been cut out, transported elsewhere to be installed in temples, obelisks, that kind of stuff. And it's kind of shocking that they were able to carve this out. What they would actually do is they would drill tiny holes using like a hammer and a chisel. They shove wood in there, get it wet, and let the wood expand until it popped and cracked the granite right along the seams where they wanted it. I think they did a pretty good job. That crack's unfortunate. That would have been a big bummer the day that happened. But how unbelievable. This is just sitting here in this ancient granite quarry. Here we can see the holes where they would shove the pieces of wood, and you can see the cracks between them. This might have been a baby obelisk here. There's so many spots, and I can't believe they were solid granite. They didn't piece these together. They were one piece.
Yeah. And if it cracked, they like didn't even use it.
I know, it's sad. Turn it into countertops probably. This boat's called Nile Style. That's gonna get us up the Nile, back to Luxor, stopping at a lot of cool temples, a lot of cool spots along the way. We're really excited about it, guys. We've been actually really wanting to do a cruise again for a long time. So we decided to do it here on the Nile, change it up a little bit. It's gonna be a ton of fun. We cannot wait to set sail. I actually think we are staying here tonight. We're gonna go see some other things around this area, and then this thing will set sail and start cruising up the Nile tomorrow. And I cannot wait to be up here on the sun deck as we go. This is so beautiful. The shoreline that lines this river is just so green and so beautiful. It just feels like a movie set, honestly.
It totally does.
And I cannot wait to see it in motion
It's
from
like
our boat.
The Nile River and then green beautifulness and then literally the Sahara Desert. Like that's all you see. And it's just, it looks like it's out of a movie. It's crazy.
It's surreal.
Very surreal.
Step into our cabin quarters if I can get the key in.
Welcome to our Nile cruise room for the next 3 nights. There's not a lot to show. We got a nice big bed, which is amazing. This is gonna be cool once we set sail. Right now there's a ship right up against us.
Let me show you our killer view out here.
Ooh!
Bam!
We're back out on the Nile on a little power boat. Guys, we got the Sahara Desert right here next to me. We're going down the river. There's a ton of beautiful boats out called felucca, the traditional Egyptian style boat with these beautiful sails on them. They look very different than like a sail that you think of back home on a traditional sailboat. They're very, very beautiful. But we're cruising. We're gonna go visit a few towns and maybe, just maybe, take a dip in the Nile.
We are just ripping through the Nile right now. We're going through like all these little tiny narrow spots, and there's like these big boats that have like a bunch of people on them, and they go really, really slow, and we're just like ripping by them. It's kind of awesome.
We've just beached our boat up on this beautiful beach, guys. This is the Sahara Desert behind us. I'm like still blown away by that. But what's even more mind-blowing is this water right here. It's crystal clear, very cool.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly and very clear for the Nile River. This is a portion of the Nile River that you can actually swim in.
I definitely want to test this out, but this definitely feels cold. Got more people showing up to swim. This beach's a popular one. I wish it was still really hot. Because this water is it's cool. The current's taking me.
Is it cold?
Oh, it feels good.
Little Baywatch moment.
Oh my god. Do some slow-mo. Guys, there's been a lot of unexpected stuff on this Egyptian trip so far. I did not expect to be swimming in the Nile out here when we got to Egypt, but this is incredibly cool, guys. It's the most refreshing water. And we're gonna be sailing on it on our cruise boat the next 3 days. Lots of unexpected, really rad experiences out here for sure. We just hiked up this mountain from the beach back there.
We just hiked up the Sahara Desert.
We just hiked to the top of the Sahara.
That was so cool.
This is honestly one of the coolest spots. Just the Sahara sand in contrast to the river and this nature reserve behind us. There's 75 islands back there in the Nile that we just ripped through on the little speedboat. This is cool.
It's so cool. It makes me want to go watch that movie, Death on the Nile. What's it called?
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile, because it was actually filmed here. We've never seen it though.
Now we need to see it. Oh, wow.
Wow. My goodness. Ooh, it's pretty.
Chops? Almost?
Yeah. In the middle, yeah.
Un momento.
Ooh, yeah. We came to a fan favorite local restaurant here called Makani, and I'm excited. We're trying some local cuisine. I got a chicken wrap. Daniel got some chicken wings. What did you get?
Yeah, they're mystery wings. Some are hot, some are not.
Wings, and then he got the extra hot sauce. Had to get some french fries on the side, garlic bread, hummus. I'm excited.
Alright guys, I got 10 wings here and they're huge. These are big wings.
Yeah, they really are.
I didn't get the hottest sauce on the wings. I got it to the side here, but I'm extremely excited about it. I feel like it's been a while since I've actually had a good spicy meal, but I want to try it without it first.
So that's the medium sauce, right?
Ooh, it's got some heat.
Oh, good, good.
It's got some heat to it. And now we will try.
The very hot. The waiter put it down and said, be careful.
I know, I'm nervous.
So excited.
Too much?
Did you get a lot? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Okay, here we go.
Gotta wait for it to build.
I'm okay so far. I feel like building a little bit, but I think I can handle it.
Oh, good.
This is delicious. This is really, really good. Dinner was fantastic. We've made it back here in our room on the Nile Style on our cruise boat. We're gonna definitely show you more of the boat cruising down the Nile tomorrow. As I said, we're just staying in the dock tonight and then heading off down the Nile tomorrow sometime in the afternoon. But we're going somewhere very awesome in the morning. We are getting up very early for it, but we're stoked, guys. So many people have told us this is one of their favorite things here in Egypt, so it's gonna be very cool. Another thing, a couple things, guys. If you've noticed, we haven't had any drone footage in our videos. Regrettably, Egypt doesn't really allow drones in their country, so we left it with a friend in London. It's a bummer, but you know what? I think we're still capturing it just great here on the Canon. But I do miss the drone a ton.
Absolutely.
There's heavy security here in Egypt. There's a lot of concern about the drones. There's even concern about our little microphone here, which is not so little. He's kind of a big puffy microphone.
He is a big puffy microphone. We've actually had to ditch him a couple times, so if the audio isn't super great in some of it, we apologize ahead of time.
That's
because we haven't had a microphone for some of the sites we have seen. Funny thing about the drone, they don't even let you take them into the country. They scan your bags right when you get off the plane in the airport, and if they see you have a drone, they will take it from you. I mean, Daniel got stopped just because he had a lot of camera gear, and they started questioning him, asking him if he had a drone, and he was like, I don't have a drone.
Wish I did. So I'm glad we left it in London. Anyways, guys, we are gonna get to bed. We have a very early morning tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you bright and early.